long have I been muted? Anyways, we are live once again, as you can see. Of course, as soon as I unmute myself, I have to start coughing. Anyways. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, when I started the stream, I had to check something. That's why. And I think I was muted the whole time I was checking that and doing that. But, alright, doesn't matter, it's fixed now. So we are live once again, and we are playing some Xenoblade Chronicles X, and for some reason, this is the guy. If you do a quest with this guy, this is the NPC who can only appear at night while in the middle of a quest trying to turn it in. I think this is the only one in the whole game. Alright, so other Pokemon who can't appear at night or day always appear during night or day if you're in the middle of a quest with them. At least I believe I remember it working that way. Alright, let's change the time.
My gratitude.
You've returned alive, and your quarry is the Queen Jakul dead. Excellent. Then you and the Three Talons brought her to bay and delivered final justice. Thank you, my friend. My fallen Rothians will now know peace. Please accept this as in payment. A lot of raising as his own child, apparently. How's it going, Soren? In the days to come, I aim to train the Three Talons in true mastery. They are sons and daughter to me, and I will raise them with pride. In time, they will join me in destroying our tormentors, the Ganglion. I hope that you shall fight at our side on that glorious day. Duplicator probe. Your mama's a duplicator probe. Oh.
Well. My gratitude.
Hey, Melina. Oh, I can fix Catbot relatively easily, I think, right now. I do have to stop what I'm doing though. Okay. I am wrong. I cannot fix Catbot. Well, we'll see. Actually, let me test. What do I got to do for this? Air. Stop. Computer. I feel like my Microsoft Windows is a virus. It's so garbage now. I think I'm gonna try to switch to Linux like some other people. All right, let's see if this works. That did not. Where even is this screen? Oh. Aha. Okay. And I guess I gotta change this to this. All right, I think it should be working now, Soren. It was not as easy to fix as I thought. Fully turned on. Okay. No, I said it should be working, Soren. It should be working now. All right, what was I doing? I don't remember now. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. Yeah, I forgot I gotta rearrange all these things. All these duplicator probes I have. Holy roly moly poly. I definitely gotta redo the whole map. I'm getting so much stuff. It almost feels like it's pointless to redo it all though. Alright. So this is done. All the green ones over here are done. There's none over here. There should be none up here. What was that? I gotta see what my virus is telling me happened. It was being a virus. Windows should be seized by the government. Its code made public for anyone to use, and Bill Gates should be locked up in prison for the rest of his life, along with anyone who currently works high up for Microsoft. world would be so much better of a place. We'd have a bunch of criminals in prison that are really powerful. That were really powerful, I should say. And then Windows would be like amazing again. Here, remember name? Isn't that right, Nagy? Alright, let's take a look at the missions. There should be 2 more green ones at least. Lindoneer 53. Eldemir 55. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. I gave up. Doesn't always want to do it. Gotta do these heart to hearts at some point. They built up again. I did like all of them, and now there's a bunch again. It's like, oh god, there's too many. It'd be different if the heart to hearts for Xenoblade X were actually interesting, but they're maybe the least interesting of all of them. They're like, oh, look at that car over there. I had a friend who liked cars like that back when I was on Place. End of heart to heart. I'm like, what? Wait, what? Oh, this must be like some side character that's not important or anything like that. It's like, no, it's only fucking Elma who said that. Elma, that was her heart to heart. like, what is going on? These people have heart to hearts that are wildly, ridiculously boring and pointless. It's like, yeah. I like rice. And they're like, oh, that's cool. They're like, yeah, it is cool. See you tomorrow. What? I thought we were gonna have a heart to heart. It's like, yeah, we did. We had a Xenoblade X heart to heart, bitch. I'm not even kidding. A little bit, where if their heart to hearts were simply them stating like their height, their weight, their age, like it's like first heart to heart, I'm 23 years old. Second heart to heart, I'm 5'7". I don't know. I'm talking. By the way, I'm talking about some random character. I don't know how tall or how old any of these people are. Third heart to heart, my blood type is O. All right. Fourth heart to heart, I like puppies. Oh, all right, cool. Fifth heart to heart. Like what else? What else would I say? Fifth heart to heart. I guess a hobby at that point, right? Fifth heart to heart. Let's go with a hobby. It's like, I collect stamps. There you go. There you go. That heart. Those 5 heart to hearts are more interesting than the average 5 heart to hearts for characters in this game. It's just pointless. They're just pointless things. Like in Xenoblade fucking 1, Ricky adopted Shulk as a heart to heart, bro. The hero pawn with 11 children said, yo, bitches, I'm gonna adopt the main character of the game who's an orphan. That is his heart to heart, all right? Fuck out of here. My friend liked cars. The end. Not even her. It's just like, yeah, my friend liked cars. I was just thinking about my friend. Do we get any more information about that? No, that's it. Oh, I guess we'll learn more in the next heart to heart. Nope, it'll never be mentioned again. Like, what are you talking about? All right, so let's see. Which one are we gonna do? 55. 55 or 53. I guess we'll do 53. We'll do them in order. This is gonna be the one that's on the roof, I think. The one who's like, later on, I'll have a quest for you. I do think actually, of all the games, Heart to Hearts, Xenoblade 1 had the best. Though of the other Xenoblade games, I did like the Heart to Hearts for the most part. Most of the time, I liked the Heart to Hearts. It was never something I felt like I had to rank. It's only when I like got back into Xenoblade X where I'm like, oh wow, these Heart to Hearts are dog shit. They were like something I was interested in doing in Xenoblade 1 and 2. I don't even remember 3. Did 3 have Heart to Hearts? I don't even remember. I don't even know if they bothered to put Heart to Hearts in that game, because they talked about their fucking feelings every single time there was a quest. Every single time. I'm worried about a Xenoblade 4 game, because if they continue the shit that they did in Xenoblade 3, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. Like this is how a Xenoblade. This is how a Xenoblade. Let's simulate what a Xenoblade 3 quest would look like. So Lindenir, let me get a brief description of this mission by going online. That way I can simulate Xeno Lend an Ear. All right. Normal mission. It can be received by goo on the rooftop of the administration district. Objectives: purchase a knife, talk to Gada, the Blade Tower. All right, so it would go something like this. That is supremely uninteresting. But I will use that to say, so what would happen is we walk near the character and then there'll be some dialogue and it'll be like the character, we have to sit there and listen to the character's dialogue and be like, man, I really wish someone would purchase a blade from me from the administration district. It's pretty important that I get that blade. I need it in order to do something important and blah 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 blah. And then what would happen is then we get a pop-up that says we have to go sit at a fucking dining room table and talk about our feelings about what we just heard. Then we go and we sit down at a table and we're like, did you hear? Gadada wanted a blade from the administration district. And he's like, yeah, I did hear about it. And now here's the thing, you got like 7 or 8 characters who all have to talk about their feelings about what they just heard. Everybody has to say something, and normally they say shit multiple times. They're like, yeah, that's true, I heard that too, that's weird, what would they possibly need a blade for? It's like, I don't know, this could be bad or this could be good. It's like, yes, do you think that we should help this person get that blade? They seemed very distressed. Yes, very distressed indeed. Maybe we should help that person get that blade from the administration district. It's like, yes, but where is the administration district? Ah, the administration district is in the blah 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 blah. located next to the administration district. It's like, okay. So, how does everyone feel about this? Yeah, I think it's a good idea if we help this person. They seem like they really need help getting that blade from the administration district. And it's settled. All right, everyone, let's go help this guy get that blade from the administration district. Then I get up from the dining table and I'm able to go talk to the person. And all the same fucking dialogue I'm about to hear now, I would still hear. Like that shit when we sat down and talked about our feelings for 5 minutes and said nothing. It didn't add anything. We still had to come over here and talk to this person and have them say all the shit that we just talked about. And then a little extra too. Please leave me be. I am not in no mood for company. Is there something on my mind? Yes, obviously. Day to day, life presents us all with a few hundred worries to fret over. You say that too many preposterous. Preposterous. If you include the little things, everyone should have at least that many. Though in my case, I have no time to spare on little things when the big ones loom before me like a vast insurmountable wall. Bitch, all you need is a blade from the administration district. Why are you talking about your fucking, like some kind of fucking like epic tale of woe is you? Perhaps there's more, some meaning to us meeting here. Will you do me a favor? I need a knife. Will you procure one for me? Any cheap thing will do. But it is absolutely necessary that I find a success in coming days. And yes, I know that I could buy a knife from one of the arms manufacturers, except that I cannot make sense of your humans shopping terminal. And oh my god, she's too old to understand your terminals and could not hope to complete even the simplest. Oh wait, hold on. Welcome, Meduzin, and thanks for following. Complete the simplest of transactions with it. You are my last hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, sure. Ask her if she'd rather have a gun. No, the second suggestion would be like, you know, I could just show you how to use the terminal, right? You ever heard of teach a man to fish? Give a man a fish? Except I am sorry to ask, not to mention humiliate, for relying on total strangers like this. Eye on your mouth. All right. Alright. I have always been terrible at things like shopping or finding locations based on direction. Oh my god. Oh hell. Why? 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 You could lose affinity. Well, you always could save before you started it. That is one thing I disliked about the first game's Heart to Hearts, but I never had an issue with it because I just cheated. Like the moment I learned that you could, it was like, by the way, heads or tails, and I'm like, huh? Heads? You just lost affinity with me. You're a shitty person. I'm like, wait, what? Bitch, could you at least give me a hint what I had to pick? So I just cheated. When that happened one time for the rest of the entire game, I was 100%. I think I could be wrong. It's been a little while since I played it, but I know for sure I cheated at the very least on most of them. I think at least I cheated on most of them. There might be a chance. One thing that I do sometimes when there's something like that I dislike is I'll pull up the answers, but I won't look at the answers. So what I mean is I'll pull up something like, here we go. I'll pull up something like this. There we go. So, perfect situation. I just went ahead and got for this game right here, right? So I'll pull up something for like this, and I'll just like leave this screen up and not use it. But then, if like something bad happens, I'm like, ah, hell no. We just gonna look at the answers. And the other thing I'll do is there's two ways that I'll cheat when it comes to video game mechanics like that are just like flip a coin or unfair in some way that I don't like. Normally I'll look for a spoiler-free guide if I can find one, and this is the equivalent of a spoiler-free guide because I could just not absorb any information here. I could just say, oh, second heart to heart. And then I could go, here we go. Then I could just say, okay, answer 1, this, answer 2, that. So then it's not really a spoiler, right? I'm not getting any information other than that, the things that I have to answer. So it doesn't matter in this game though what you say during your heart to heart, so I don't really need something like this. But in like in Xenoblade 1, they punish you for losing 50/50s, and I'm like, oh hell no. I'm like, that's bullshit. I don't like that. So what I'll do, another thing that I will do, I don't know if I did it for Xenoblade, I can't remember which one I did, but another thing I'll do sometimes is I'll make my decision. And you'll hear me say that sometimes too. We're like, first I'm gonna like think about, I'm gonna decide what I want to choose, and then I'm gonna see if it's the right answer. So I'll kind of like reverse it ever so slightly.
One, two, three, four.
So there we go. So what I'll do is I'll like let me think of a good answer for that. Hard to think of a good example for that. Can't really remember that, but it typically shows up in that. Then there is the third way I cheat, but it's not with something like the heart to hearts. I wouldn't have done it with that. Is I'll just look shit up. And the funny thing is that quite often, I can't give you an exact number, obviously, but quite often I'll go to look something up, and it's weird. The act of disengaging with whatever I was looking up will help me, and then I'll be like, wait a second. That has happened before. That I can think of an example of. That is like this is a very interesting example because I actually never even ended up looking it up. There was a puzzle in a game that I need to play again because I never finished it. I can't remember what the game was called. Something about World, but there was this puzzle in this game, and it was like bullshit. I was like, what is this bullshit? And I got fixated on one aspect of the puzzle, and I was like, this is just bullshit. This is garbage. And after like a few minutes, I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna look it up then. And right at that time, my roommate knocked on my door, or didn't knock on my door because my door was open, but like poked his head in my door and was like, hey. And I was like, oh, hey. And I talked to him about what I was doing, and then I turned back to the monitor and I was about to start typing in what I had to look up. And then I was like, oh shit, wait a second. And I don't know if it's like a my brain thing. I don't think it's a me thing though. They need to update it to the Switch 2 version. Dude, I've been waiting for so many years, and I even waited until the Switch 2 came out. And that was my end of my waiting. I waited for the thing to finally come out on the Switch 2. I mean on an updated version past the Wii U, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll wait till the Switch 2 because obviously it's going to be better on the Switch 2. And then there was nothing. I was like, you know what? I'm done waiting. I'm just going to play the game. Here I am playing it. I think this might be the first game I've played on the Switch 2 other than Mario Kart World. Did I play? No, Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance. Did I play that on the Switch 2? I think I did. Yeah, I think it was Vengeance that I did first. Yeah, I did Mario Kart. Got bored with that real fast. Did Vengeance. But oh yeah, what I was saying is the act of like disengaging with a thing will like make me just get past a roadblock that I didn't know I had. And like I said, I don't know if other people have that happen to them, but I imagine most people do, simply because of the whole thing where, you know how you're trying to think of a word or you're trying to think of a name or something like that, and you're like, damn it, it's at the tip of my tongue, I can't. And then you finally give up. You're like, fuck it, I give up. And you're just like, you're gonna do something else. And then the moment you do something else and you engage your brain in something else, it instantly pops in your head. It's the equivalent of that has happened to me several times.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That has been a thing that has happened to me for a long time with video games. Can't think of a bunch of examples. I think the best example is the one that I said where my roommate interrupted me. I remember that one in particular because I was going to look it up. But there's other ones where simply the act of me stopping with that and then starting to type it in. And oh, you know what? I think the thing with me typing it in has been a thing too, where it's like I disengage with the puzzle, or I disengage with whatever it is in the game. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. And this is fucking stupid. And then I type, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to type into the search engine to find this? And then I type the name of the thing. And then I'm like, okay, how am I going to describe the thing that I need to find now? And then you start describing it, and then you're like, wait a second, I know the solution. Because you're like, something about you describing the thing just triggers it, you know what I mean? It's like it's sort of like you know how people say my theories is it's probably sort of like when people make lists where they're like, oh, should you date this person or should you not date this person? And then you pull out a piece of paper and you write the pros and cons of dating the person. I think it's probably something like that. It's like something about you just writing out a description of what you're doing. That's all it takes. Yeah, overcomplicating things. That's probably it sometimes. I have done that too. And so because you're writing a description of it, or because you've disengaged with it, now like the simple part of your brain, like where it's like subconscious and whatever, and you're not really, it's like, oh wait, instead of me going, hold on, 2 plus 2, surely it's 2 plus woman entering the door times thing, and there's this ball here that's doing a da such and such, and blah 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 blah, and you kind of lose track of where you're going, and you're like, what the fuck is all this shit? This is really complicated, all this shit. And then you disengage, and your brain's like, 2 plus 2, motherfucker. You're like, oh wait, I remember, I know what I'm talking about now. It's just simple math. Man, I remember one puzzle game. I actually very rarely cheat when it comes to puzzles.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But there was I've done it more while streaming than I ever really did it in real life. In real life, I was pretty stubborn. But in streaming, I just like, man, I gotta move this shit on. Like, it's been like, this is taking way too long. How the fuck have I not figured this out? But I'll get stubborn and I'll stick with it for a long time still. I'm pretty good at most puzzles, so I normally just do them still and don't have much issue. But then there'll be the odd moon logic puzzle. There's a few times where I've looked something up and I've been like, oh my god, that was so simple. But most of the time, I don't need to do anything like that. Or it was actually truly moon logic. And when it's moon logic, when I was younger, I would just brute force it. When I mean younger is when I wasn't streaming all my games, basically. I would just brute force my way through it. If it was a moon logic puzzle, I would just keep trying things until something weird happened, and then I would go from there, right? Like mixing chemicals until there's finally a reaction, basically. I think a good moon logic game that I remember I brute forced my way through when I was a kid was Maniac Mansion. I really liked Maniac Mansion, but man, it took me a long time to beat that game. And it's because there was a lot of moon logic parts. There was a lot of dead ends too. Basically, you could get a game over and the game would not tell you have a game over. You could do something that would completely ruin your chances 100%. There's literally no path to victory. You've lost the game, and the game you can just keep playing the game as if it's normal. And the only way you can learn that you're locked out of finishing the game is by playing the damn game so much that you're like, wait a second, I actually need these things in order to convince this guy to do this thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So is it not important for me to continue to if I feel like in order for me to get into that room, I have to convince that guy to do that thing, which means if I've destroyed those things, that means that there's no coming back. I'm just gone. Like, let me restart the game and not do that. But then you have to like brute force your way, because it might be that you think that you have to destroy it. So you destroy the thing, and then you like walk around the place trying to figure out if something changed and whatnot in a way that would help you. Maniac Mansion was very much for sure a moon logic game that was very punishing, because like I said, you could permanently lock yourself out of being able to beat the game, and the game does not tell you. It does not tell you at all. I think biggest problem I've ever had with puzzles where I wasn't able to brute force my way through it was a Wild Arms game. And I learned years later that the reason why was because the puzzle was mistranslated. And that shit pissed me off because you went into a world. It doesn't even explain what the puzzle is, first off. So it's a puzzle that you have to intuit that there is a puzzle. It doesn't even tell you there is a puzzle. I remember this one a lot more vivid than I remember most things from that far back when it comes to puzzles. Like, for instance, probably my favorite puzzle game was Portal 1 and 2. And I am 100% going to replay those games one day when I am for sure that I've like completely forgotten the puzzles. I think I might have already completely forgotten the puzzles, but I want to give it some more time because that was so fun to play. Portal 1 and 2 were so good, and they're so cheap too. You can buy them for like a couple of bucks each, like literally $2 each during Steam sales. And I think they're like two of the best puzzle games ever made. But I never really got fully stuck in something like that. Wait, why did I start talking about Portal? But anyways, for something, oh yeah, because I forget. So for something like Portal, I've already forgotten all those puzzles, probably. I'm not going to try to actively think about them. I'm avoiding actively thinking about them because if I start actively thinking about them, I might remember, and then that'll add to the time it takes me to forget them. But one memory on a puzzle I have never forgotten to this day, and it's because I spent so long trying to solve it. And what it is that you go up to a book in a house, and you read the book, and the book sucks you into it, and you're in the book world. Once you're in the book world, you cannot leave the book world until you complete the book world. Wild Arms, exceptionally good game, by the way. You know what? Let's play the intro to Wild Arms. Wow, I'm describing this horrible, horrible puzzle. Dude, Wild Arms intro. Every time I played the game, every time I booted up the game, I would watch the Wild Arms intro.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Because it would put me in the mood for the game, right? It would like it was like one of those things. It was like, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's Wild Arms time, boys. So, hopefully I'll be able to describe it while listening to the Wild Arms intro. So what happened is this book sucks you into it, and you're like, you gotta solve. There's not even really a lot of puzzles in the book. I think it's mostly just fighting your way through the book and the book monsters and whatnot, right? It's not that bad. However, there's this one section where you go into it. I can remember it so vividly, even to this day, is that you go into this section and it's just a floating platform that you walk across, and there's a few enemies, but you can walk upstairs, and if you go up the stairs, there's a library with 5 bookshelves. Each bookshelf has one book that you can read. Then that's the end of it. If you go back down the steps, the central corridor has a door that is locked. So that's all that's going on and there's a library with 5 books. Then if you go downstairs, there's a room downstairs, and in the room downstairs there's 5 chests. They're all empty. You open the chest and it's an empty chest. And it's like, huh? And that's it. The game doesn't tell you that you're in the middle of a puzzle. It doesn't give you any fucking information whatsoever. the 5 library books are simply 5 random fucking things that is just said. Like this. It's like, there was a time where there was this boy climbing a mountain and there were lights next to him. The blah 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 blah. And then it would, like, the next book would talk about some other random shit that wasn't even slightly connected to any of it. So bro, that right there, this man right here, I feel like this is the quintessential, like, Japanese anime hero. Like him right here with his red freaking bandana, like his little bandage. Bro. And so and so I started trying random things. First, I tried to make sense of the library books and what they all said. And I was like, maybe they're somehow connected to the chests. You know, there's 5 of those and there's 5 chests. Maybe these books are telling a story, and so I have to open the 5 chests in order. And, you know, so I tried to make heads or tails of that, and there was nothing. And so here's the thing, too. How do you solve the puzzle? I'm not, when I say that to you, I'm not asking for what the solution is to the puzzle. I'm asking, how do you go about trying to solve the puzzle? There is nothing. Okay, so there's 5 chests that when you open them, they're just empty. There's 5 library books. Maybe you have to read the books in a specific order, then open the chests in a specific order. Or maybe you just have to read all the books, figure something out, and then open all 5 chests in a specific order. Maybe you don't open all 5 chests in a specific order. Maybe you just open the correct chest. And once you've opened the correct chest, then you can check the door and the door's open. Maybe you don't open the correct chest, but maybe you just open the correct chests, meaning you open anywhere from 1 to 4 chests and then check the door. Maybe you only open a few chests, but you have to open all those few chests in the correct order. So maybe only 3 of the books are actually connected in some way, but you have to open those 3 chests in those 3 specific, and it's only 3 books, right? But you have to open those 3 chests in that specific order in order to, and then check the door. Maybe you have to open all the chests, like first you read the books, you find out what the books say, find out their order, then open all the chests in the correct order, then read the books again in the correct order, and then the door will unlock. There's like 50 different things that the puzzle may be. I don't even know what the puzzle is. I just know that it involves opening the chests and reading the books. Maybe. So what I did was, I sat down after fucking around with that for like probably an hour. I sat down, I got out a notebook because I was in school at this time, and I started writing. The first thing I did was I wrote down every possible puzzle. I thought of every possible puzzle that it could possibly be, because I don't even know what the puzzle is yet. Like I said, I just described like 6 or 7 puzzles there alone, right? So I wrote down every possible puzzle. Then I read what all my descriptions of the possibility of the types of puzzles it could be were, and I tried to think of any more. Once I couldn't think of any more puzzles that it could be, I then read all the puzzles again and ranked the puzzles from the most likely to the least likely. I was like, this is probably the most likely puzzle. This is probably the least likely puzzle. So I just went through them and then I rewrote them in the order from most likely to least likely. Then once I wrote what was the most likely, I would then what I did was I looked at all the possibility of the puzzles, and I read the books. I wrote down everything that was in the books and each of the books in their order, and then I was like, okay, Does any of these things that are written in these books have anything to do with any of these puzzles? Meaning, like, it's like, oh wait, it has to be this puzzle, obviously. And it's like, no, none of them. That didn't help at all. So it's like, okay, so then let me pick the most likely puzzle, which the first one I thought of was I had to open all the chests in a specific order. And so then what I did was I went to the next page and I wrote down every single possible combination that I could open the chests in. I just wrote them all down. I was like, oh, you have to open all 5 chests or whatever in a specific order. I wrote them all down. You know, I was like you open up the chest 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And I wrote down every fucking combination. Like literally every fucking combination that you could possibly do, I wrote it down. And then I proceeded to try every fucking combination of that chest, those chests being open, and then checking the door, and then putting a line through it once it wasn't correct. And when I finished all that, I would then move on to the next, what I thought the next puzzle was, and then I would try to write down every fucking possible combination and then move on to the next puzzle. Like, that was my plan. And I basically had an entire fucking notebook. Like, I would be at school, and I always finished my work super early at school, right? So they would give us, like, you know, an hour to do some kind of test or some shit, and I'd finish it in like 15 minutes. And they're like, did you double check your work? And I'm like, yeah, I double checked my work. Here's the fucking test. And then I spent the next 45 minutes writing down all the fucking possible answers to this fucking game that was tormenting me. And I did that shit for like a week. Like, and I was in the middle of like brute forcing my way through it, like doing every fucking possible thing. And then my mom found the notebook one day. She was like, what are you doing? Like, you've been really studying hard. And I was like, no, I'm just trying to solve this puzzle. And then she like looked at it and she looked concerned because it was like the scribblings of a madman, basically. Like, she like, it was, it probably looked like that guy from that, what was that movie about some guy with who was obsessed with numbers, or a number, maybe with a number. 23, that might be it. Number 23. It was probably I'd imagine to my mom it probably looked to like some shit like this, where she's like looking through the book and she's like, holy shit, what is going on? Like, oh my god, what's happening? And so she's like, what's the name of the game? And you know, I'm like, Wild Arms. And then like a day later, hey, look, there's like even a scene where he's like scribbling in a book with all those mad notations and things like that. Oh my god. But then like it was like a day or two later, she's like, here you go, and she gave me a guidebook. Let's see if I can find it. Damn, this bitch is $55 now if you want this. Holy shit, it exists, but it's 55. And this was the first guidebook I've ever had. This is the first guidebook to any video game I ever had. Back in the day, the internet wasn't really a thing. All right, everyone. So what you did was you bought guidebooks. Official and unofficial strategy guides existed. And this, I only probably owned like maybe 4 or 5 of these types of things. Like I had one for Final Fantasy VII. I beat Final Fantasy VII like 3 times. And then I saw like a guidebook for it. And I was like, look, I was like, oh, cool. And so I was like looking through it on the shelf, and I was looking through the guidebook because I know everything about the game, right? And I saw something I didn't know, and I was like, holy crap. And so I bought it because I was like, there's something I don't know about Final Fantasy VII? How is that possible? I beat it like 3 times. And so then I like went to the guidebook and did everything that was in that too. But yeah, this is the first guidebook I ever owned. She bought it for me. And I went to the page that showed the solution to the puzzle, and I was like, "Thanks, Mom!" And I ran to my room, and I put the I fucking did it, and then I looked at the solution, and I looked at it, it worked, and I opened the door, and I was so excited, and then and the excitement started to like go down. Like at first I was like fucking really excited, and then the excitement started to go down, and I was like, what the fuck? It still doesn't make any sense. So then I started ranting about, I was like, what? How is this the solution? It doesn't make any sense. So she probably heard me from my bedroom yelling about how it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, yeah, dude, that shit made no fucking sense. Let's see, wild chest puzzle, maybe? Ah, Dele Metallica. Yep, that was what it was called. I remember it was called Metallica. I totally forgot about the Metallica part being the name of the book.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The sealed library. You can kind of see it here, like see how there's these like floating platforms. Can I find a spot with floating platforms? You must engrave this into your heart if you seek the other side of the door. You suck my cock. Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The thing is I was almost finished. Well, obviously, there were a lot of possible solutions in what I thought was the most likely puzzle, which is that you had to open up every chest, right? And so once I finished with that, the next most likely one was that I only had to open up a certain number of chests in a specific order. And I I think I was going to skip that one because that was still gonna, it would have been so much easier to just simply open up specific chests. I was like, well, it'll take a lot less time to just open up specific chests or something like that. And so I was gonna do that one next. But yeah, look at this. There's a previously locked topic about this, but it didn't really give a satisfactory answer. I played this game many times through from the years and I love it. I just got to that bookcase and chest puzzle in an hour ago and most recent playthrough, and the only puzzle I was never able to solve on my own was there. Trust me, my friend, if he means this game, then sure. But if he means other games, there are other games where the puzzles are just equally terrible. It happens, unfortunately. Was this thing really a translation error? What exactly were the developers going for? Does anyone know, have any idea? I just get sort of bugged when I don't see the solution, whatever. So the person's like, while the correct answer is open the third and fourth chests from the left side, I don't know what the creators of the game were thinking. It's nearly impossible to solve without a guide. Indeed, third and fourth chest, exclamation point. Join the club. Like no one could do this. Like, yeah, see, look, this guy was actually writing down the things like me. Like I wrote everything down. But it didn't make any fucking sense. Let's see if someone explains it. I remember I read a post a long time ago that actually did explain like the translation problem, but I forgot. Oh wait, this person that I closed the thing on is saying something. And the key to the puzzle was looking for clues whether their chest should be open or closed, considering the hint said that the knowledge of the is wealth or whatever, since opening is not opening. And then it's like yeah, see, I remember this, that closed minds will lead Filga to its doom. And I was like, oh, that means the chest has to probably be closed, right? But no, then Il has gone to another world. That doesn't mean anything. Does that mean that it's open or closed? He's gone to another world, right? Which means there's nothing there, which means should it be open so that we can see nothing? But no, that one is supposed to be closed. For 1,000 years, people have torn apart the land looking for the future that they've lost. So the chest should probably be open, right? So that would mean that chest 2 and 3 should be open. A foolish woman opened the box and all the desires of the world were released. This human nature in this purest form. And then it's like, wait a second. That means that I should probably close the chest, right? She's describing that she opened the chest, but bad things happened. And it's like, okay, well, let's try it with it open first, and then we'll try the same thing with it closed.
1, 2, 3.
What do you search for with those eyes, with those closed eyes? This is Filga, a dying world. And it's like, huh? What are you talking about? So it's like if you look for like closed would be 1, closed would be 5, and 2, 3, and 4 would be open. If you're going based on the talking alone. If you're based on talking alone, 2, 3, and 4 should be open, and 1 and 5 should be closed. But the problem is, it's only 3 and 4 that should be open, 2 not. And That's the thing. I believe what was probably the so no one's talking about the translation, but what probably happened was the original translation, because bookshelf 1 says the word closed, bookshelf 4 says the word open, and bookshelf 5 says the word closed, right? So my guess is that bookshelf 3 and 2 in Japanese said the word either closed or open, and that's what you were supposed to go based on. The problem is, in the English version, it doesn't say that. It just says the ills have gone to another world. What the fuck does that mean? To me, that symbolizes it's open, but there's nothing, because closed means there could be something inside of it. Yeah, no one basically solves this puzzle. Yeah, no one actually talks about the original translation. If I learn Japanese, I'm going to, when I'm finished learning Japanese, just to say, I'm going to get a copy of the Japanese version of Wild Arms, and I'm gonna play it through, and I'm gonna see for myself, because this shit made no sense. Absolute bullshit. But then, see, that's the other thing too. Like, well, they chose, like, first off, they didn't use the word closed or open in multiple of them. And then on top of that, in one of them, when they used the word open, it was a bad thing. Because it said a foolish woman opened, meaning I probably shouldn't open it. Oh my god, how many Wild Arm games have there been? That's crazy. I didn't realize there were that many. I only thought there were 3 Wild Arm games. Wild Arm. Here we go, wiki. Holy hell. Wild Arms, 1996. Wild Arms 2, 1999. And I think that's the last one I played. I didn't play 3. Wild Arms 3. Wild Arms Alter Code F. Huh? Wild Arms 4. Are they in the... What? That looks completely different. It doesn't look old Westy style at all. Wild Arms 5. Alright, that's going back to looking Wild Arms style. Wild Arms XF. Wild Arms Million Memories. In 2018, from 2007, they made nothing. And then 2018, they made something called Wild Arms Memories? Why is there no picture of it? Maybe it was canceled? Wild Arms Mobile? Maybe that's what it was? A mobile game? It was a manga? There was an album? Of course there was an album. Fucking the games and music was awesome. The fuck is Million Memories? Maybe that's the mobile game? Nothing shows up when I click on it. Million. Okay, here we go. Wild Arms Million Memories, released a decade later, more than a decade actually, from crowdfunding in an open world spiritual successor. Oh, that happened in 2018? I didn't know there was a spiritual successor. That's a shame. I wonder if it was good. Wild Arms Million Memories was released for smartphones. Boo! In Japan. Boo! The game was shut down on only 2 years later. Boo! Boo that shit, bro. Where's the boo button? First off, sad Darrow. Now where the hell is the boo button? Who the fuck makes a fucking mobile game? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I have a feeling that the games became kind of not that good. But I really loved the first two games. Alright, let's help this lady with this knife. I've always been terrible at things like shopping and finding locations based on directions. I shall wait here indefinitely, if needs be. I rather like this place. It's quiet and peaceful. In any case, I thank you for your help. Buxom battlers is a reward. Uh-huh. Buxom battlers. Chrome pokey pokey, just what I've always needed. Shit, I equipped it. Wait, did I equip it? Because I can't equip it, right? Yes, I can, because I'm on that class. It was blue. I don't remember this class using a knife. Shows you how much attention I've been paying to this class. It's not, it doesn't impress me that much. Alright, so I haveth your chrometh knife ith. Hold on, let's get them over here so they're not so in the way. The moon. Ah, you return. Bro, this is the perfect time to do it at night because of the moon. I was just stewing in my shame at the presumption of asking for help in such personal matter. Have you the knife, perchance? Oh, it's a purple one too, with all those additional effects. Fancy. Many thanks. I apologize again for the trouble. Now I can finally begin what I set out to do. Why did it zoom in on her ears? It is time for my ears to come off. Oh, I see. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Bro, my character's so shocked his mustache ran away. Look at it. Grab the knife hand and hold it in her in place. This is the more dangerous thing to do. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you interfering? This is my business and my mind is set. Ow. All right, enough. You hit her. That's hilarious. Oh my god. You hit her so hard the whole world shook. Damn. She could take a punch. Two routes, Soren. Honestly, do you have to use force? It seems a little extreme. What's happening? Why does it keep shaking? But very well, I should put down the knife. Now let go of me. I will cut these damned ears from my head and be reborn a woman to respect. These ears, these cute, round, fluffy ears have plagued me all my life. Damn the both of them. My kinsfolk mock me for them relentlessly, and fear of anyone seeing them gradually drove me to reclusion. Lately, I am unable to face anyone. Even on the field of battle, where the measures of a Rothian is taken, I was ever distracted by thoughts of others seeing my ears. Unable to train with others, my skills as a warrior have been in steady decline. They are more stigma than skin. Human, these ears are shackled that bind me fast. Say that being a warrior is not the only way to live. Offer to give Gulu special training. Ah. I don't know. I don't know, which one do you think is better? I kind of want to do both. So we have a special training route and a non-warrior route. I kind of want to do both and just see what makes her more content. Because that's what it would be in real life. In real life, I would be like, hey, why don't we try multiple things? I'll start training you if you need to be trained. And in the meantime, why don't you start looking into other possible things that you could do? There's lots of work that needs being done around the city. Yeah, so I think that's what I'll do. I'll do both routes. And then I'll use my hindsight powers to choose the route that I like best. Hindsight activate. But that'll be it for today, because doing both routes is going to obviously take a little while. Stuff like that I don't like in Quest 2, where it's an either or. It doesn't have to be either or, it could be both. Like, why am I going to be locked out of one because I chose the other? I don't like that. But anyways, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. Hope to see you guys next time I stream, which will be tomorrow. Same cat time, same cat channel. Be there, be square. And I hope to finish more quests tomorrow. Basically did nothing today. But I did reminisce. I did reminisce, and I like reminiscing sometimes. So it was a complete waste. Memories. But I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. You guys take care of yourselves. I head into the Discord for movie night and watch another Stargate Atlantis episode. I think there's only like one more episode on that. Maybe, yeah, I think there's one more left. Then we have to switch. But anyways, you have a nice one. Take care, everyone. Bye. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Like I said, I hope to be able to do more.